So very important, especially for those experiencing lymphedema, is to get enough protein. Okay, so there are some myths out there that you need to avoid or limit protein because the fluid that kind of builds up in the body does contain some protein. But eating protein does not equate to increasing lymphedema symptoms. So it's really important to get enough, and everybody is obviously different. So it is an individualized amount. So really speaking with a registered dietitian to, talk about how much you need specifically. But, not having enough can actually kind of cause more of the protein in your body to break down. So like from muscles, which are the ones that you need, and therefore what ends up happening in that process is more fluid buildup in your body. So it actually could make lymphedema symptoms worse. So getting enough is really important, and there's so many great sources. Our recipe is talking about an omega-3 fatty acid fish. What did you use?
So this is char. This is Arctic char.
Yeah. So you could do salmon, trout. Tuna even has omega-3 fatty acids, but you can use egg, other sources of protein, eggs, chicken, any type of lean meat, tofu, beans, right? So kind of really getting enough is important.
Do you like fish, Tony?
I do, salmon.
Salmon,
cool.
nice.
3 times a week.
There you go. There you go, that's
in addition
good.
to the fried eggs.
Yeah.
Not fried, sorry.
It's okay.
Scrambled eggs.
Love the fried
It's
eggs.
I gotta be careful.
You gotta be careful around dietitians.
right.
I know,
It's
I'm used to it now. So yeah, we're using Arctic char. It's a beautiful fish. If you've never had it before, it's almost like a mix between salmon and trout in terms of the flavor. It is a smaller fish. It's one of the sort of more recommended fish in terms of being lower in contaminants and mercury and that sort of thing. And it's a really, really nice choice.
It seems to be available.
Yeah, you can find it in most grocery stores, yes. But if not, I mean, rainbow trout's really good. Like I said, like salmon, wild salmon, that sort of thing. So we're gonna make this pretty simple. We're gonna focus on using, this is one of my favorite vegetables. We use fennel quite a bit. If you haven't used fennel before, have you used fennel before?
I've had it used for me.
Okay, that's good. Used for you. So you're familiar with it. This is what fennel looks like if you have never used it before. It's got a really nice crunch to it. It has a mild sort of licorice flavor to it.
Black licorice.
Black licorice. That would be wild if it tasted like cherry licorice. Yes. But we're gonna actually cook it. We're gonna roast it in the oven with the fish, a 1-pot dish, which is nice. So we don't have to muss around with too many pots and pans. And we're gonna be able to control the amount of added fat and salt needed because we're working with a lot of flavorful ingredients, and because we're just roasting it in a pan instead of sort of sauteing it or pan frying it, I don't need excess oil. We're gonna use a little bit of olive oil because we need it, but not any excess. So what we're gonna do is slice up the fennel, which is fairly easy. The tops over here, not as edible. They're very fibrous. You can chew them for fun, but don't try to swallow them. But they're very flavorful. So you can actually save the stalks for stock, the stems for stock. And then these little bits here, we call these fronds. It's like a herb. And if you get close to it and smell it, it's very, very aromatic. So don't throw these away. You can absolutely save them. And then the rest of the fennel, we're going to cut off the bottom, and we're going to slice it in half like this, and sort of you can see it reveals the layers there. And then just, again, take your time and run across the layers. Fennel, you'll see the fibers grow from the bottom to the top. So I don't know if you can see it, but the lines you'll see when you get close to the fennel sort of go from the bottom to the top. If I slice it this way, you're gonna have really stringy bits stuck in your teeth. You wanna cut against the fibers or against the grain.
A grain in a piece of wood, similar.
Piece of wood, or they say even like for like meat, like
Yes,
or beef, they'll say cut against the grain. It's the same thing with vegetables. And there was a question?
No, I'm just.
No.
Do even today.
Oh yes. imagining it when you do it at home. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jeremy's using a ton of different sources of foods for flavor. And kind of that's what the main message we wanted to illustrate is that you don't need salt or a lot of salt excess, yes, to boost the flavor of your meal. Okay, so using potent vegetables, onions, fennel, citrus, that's really going to boost that. So it's not necessary to, have excess. And, especially, again, for those experiencing lymphedema, high amounts of sodium increase fluid retention. Okay, so for those who are experiencing chronic, health issues such as lymphedema or heart disease, it's really important to really limit that amount. And so there are no specific guidelines for lymphedema, but we know general guidelines is limiting for about.
I sliced some onion ahead of time as well. We'll throw some of that, some more fennel. Okay, so we are going to dress the vegetables just simply with just a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to add a little bit of that vinegar as well. You can use lemon juice, any little bit of acidity is going to help. And Tony, do you want to drizzle the fish with just a little bit?
May I ask a question though about the fish?
Yes, absolutely.
A question that I ask myself almost 3 times a week. What about removing the skin, or just leave it on?
Great question. So this is a great way to cook the fish, and it's going to be a lot easier to remove after it's cooked.
Yeah.
If you just really don't like cooking with it, then you can tell wherever you buy it, you can ask them to remove it. They should be able to do it for you.
Yeah. And you don't want to eat the skin because that is where kind of a lot of the toxins are living. So it's okay to cook with it, but you do want to remove it when eating.
Sounds like eating the skin of an apple.
No.
That's
Which
fine.
is proposed.
That's
for
fine.
you. That's a good idea. Okay, should I
Eating the
drizzle?
skin
Yeah,
is fine
just a little bit
for the
on
apple.
top. And again, we don't need too much. This is
How's that?
that's
Don't wanna
perfect.
overdo it.
No, this is considerably less than if I was pan frying it in a pan. And again, just a little bit of salt. We're in control of the salt. We're adding a little bit, so you know how much you're adding. It's not a lot compared to your whole day.
Is there a type of salt that is recommended, like a sea salt versus a whatever the other ones are?
Good question. Good question. So in terms of salt, sodium.
For nutrition,
Yeah.
salt is salt is salt.
Yeah.
So getting the Himalayan fancy salt versus kosher salt versus whatever, in your body, it reacts the same way. Jeremy can talk about the taste. However, table salt is fortified with iodine. So, for some people, that's something that they need. So again, that depends on. But in terms of water retention, and not necessarily that kosher salt, let's say, has less sodium. They kind of all have the same amount.
That's pretty much it. Vegetables in the bottom, and it doesn't have to be fennel and onion. Like we talked about before, you can put peppers in there. You can put some zucchini or broccoli or mushrooms, or whatever you want. But you can just follow this technique.
Yeah.
All right. So veggies on the bottom, fish on top, skin side up.
Why? That's what I was going to ask.
So it's a good question. I find that it protects the flesh and it prevents it from drying out as much. When it's exposed to the heat, I find that it can dry out a little bit easier. And it's just, once you take it out, it's just a lot easier to just remove the skin on top. So that's pretty much it. That goes into the oven, 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. Okay?
In the bottom or the middle?
Middle. Go to the middle. Yeah. While that's in the oven, I'm going to make just a little dressing. Again, Stephanie talked about flavor. Where can flavor come from? Absolutely from the vegetables that we use, from the herbs, from the spices, fruit as well. It's going to contain a lot of flavor. So simply, we're gonna just peel this. Now you can use like a clementine or a mandarin, and just peel it like you would, almost like you were eating it. It's going to be a lot easier. For a bigger orange, we're just want to cut around the outside.
Fancy.
Being a little fancier here.
So easy.
So
He's a good knife.
we want to remove
That's the trick.
the white membrane, any of that peel on the outside. That's what is, it's a little bitter. And when you're peeling it off, if there's some orange still left, just squeeze it out into a dish, that's fine. All right, so we're going to just remove most of that white part there. And I'm gonna make this really easy. So if you wanna get really fancy and take a lot of time, you can cut out each membrane, but we're gonna just save the time. So what I do is I cut it into quarters, like this, and then really that middle core part is what we wanna take out. So we can just cut that out. Cut that out, it's gonna save you a lot of time. Oh yes.
Good knives, good knives.
Sharp, yes, sharp knives. I'll show you the knives after, but and then just dice it, right? And it's an orange. I mean, it's nothing super fancy. We took a little bit more time in preparing it, but like I said, if it was just like a clementine, just peel it. Peel it into segments and roughly chop it. Okay, so we have our diced orange. We'll put that into a dish, like that, and we have some of the tops from the fennel that we saved.
Reusing.
Yeah, and we'll just put that on top like that. And again, just a little bit of olive oil. We're not using too much. Little pinch of salt. Again, not too much.
And what is it
And
that
you want to
say
just stir this
about,
together,
The,
Tony.
the fat and the salt.
Oh, well, yeah. So, I mean, salt itself, and that's actually a great point. Salt does not add flavor. It's a flavor enhancer. So a lot of times, and I came from culinary school where, we were taught to throw handfuls of salt. But it's changing now. That mentality is changing, and they're teaching now, and we're learning now that salt is going to enhance the flavor of whatever you're adding it to. So if you have something very flavorful like orange, like something with a lot of herbs or a lot of nice vegetables, that little pinch of salt is needed to give you flavor, but it's just boosting the flavor of what you're adding it to.
Wow, I know my English father-in-law always added salt to his coffee.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, well, you commonly see salt added to chocolate as well. Again, because it's going to make the coffee taste a lot more tasty and like coffee, and the same with chocolate, right? A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
not
don't
too
need too
much,
much. No. All right, so we have our orange, and all right, so this is what it looks like afterwards. You can see the vegetables have cooked down considerably, right?
It smells good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
All right, so we'll plate this up. Really. And again, it sounds a lot fancier, it looks a lot fancier, but it doesn't take too much time. And see, the skin will come right off once it's cooked.
Wow.
Yeah, so it makes that really, really easy to remove.
Does that mean when I cook my salmon in the pan on the stovetop with water and parsley, should I cook it face down?
I think it makes it a little bit easier for sure. And then again, the beautiful thing about the parchment paper is that comes right out of the pan, right? So it's going to be a lot easier to wash the pan afterwards. Nothing's like sort of burnt on the bottom. All right, and I'm going to move this to the side. We'll try to do it delicately. If I was at home, I'd be just jumping right into this. I would not be doing it delicately, but
Yes.
yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Save on dishes.
No cleanup.
That's actually a good, yes.
I'm all for
Well, in a lot of fancy French restaurants, they do serve it in the parchment, so. Yes, you got it. All right, so we'll put a little bit of that fennel, and we'll take, are we gonna try to do the whole thing? Yeah, we're gonna do the whole thing. Let's see if we can take it. No, there we go. There we go, we got most of it. So the fish on top, and then we'll add a bunch of that
Super
orange.
flavorful.
and colorful.
Yeah, very colorful. And the last thing, and again, this is optional, but just something for texture. These are pumpkin seeds, yeah.
Which are rare.
Just a lot of pumpkin seeds, and I like to just kind of give it some crunch. And then maybe we'll go some more of that fennel
Are
top.
those raw pumpkins?